I'm going to show you kind of a cool phenomenon that happens with parallel lines. So I'm going to draw just a random line here. I'm going to be honest with you, it's not going to be entirely random. It's going to go through nice, neat points so that I can count the points. It goes through, right? So I can show you the slope. So there's a random line. And then I'm going to very, very, very carefully slide it this way so that these lines are parallel. Okay, so there's one set of parallel lines. Should we make another set of parallel lines? Let's make a set of negative parallel lines here. Parallel line. Oh, and I'm moving my paper around. I really can't be doing that, can I? And, oh, you know what I'm just going to do? I'm going to use the other side of my ruler to make sure that it's parallel, then I don't have to move it, okay? Let's make a set of parallel lines over here. Parallel line, parallel line. Wish I had different thicknesses of rulers so that it could be that much more awesome, but you know, we do our best. Parallel line, parallel line. Okay, so I've got a bunch of parallel lines here. So I want to look at the slope of these parallel lines. So this one, I've got a point right there, and I have a point up and over. Oh, I have a point right there. How lovely. I kind of did that on purpose. These are not going to be as beautiful. We're going to have to work for these. So up one, over one, up one to the right one. The slope is 1. What about this line? We're going to start right here, up 1, over 1. Oh my goodness. The slope is 1 over 1, whoops, 1, so m equals 1. So we have parallel lines. Let's call this one L and this one M. The slope of L is 1, and the slope of M is 1. All right, let's look at this one. All right, I have a point right here, and I'm going to go down 3, 1, 2, 3, and to the right one, and looks like we crossed pretty well right there. So the slope on this one, m equals, I went down 3, so that's negative 3. I went to the right one, so that's positive 1. So the slope equals negative 3. I could keep that 1 there. I'm gonna choose not to. We're just gonna have it be the slope is negative 3. So let's come over here. We've got a parallel line. We know that they're parallel because, I mean, I used my ruler, right? So there's a point right there. I'm going down 3, 1, 2, 3, and to the right 1. So I went down 3 to the right 1. We have rise over run. So our slope is m equals negative 3. So if I call this one Q and this one P, the slopes Q is negative 3 and P is negative 3. Let's look at this one. Let's see what happens here. All right, let's find a nice point. I really like finding nice points because it just makes life easier. Oh, here's a nice point. And then here's a nice point. So I'm going to go up 2, 1, 2. So that's positive 2. And then to the right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. To the right, 5. So positive 2 over 5. Can't reduce that one at all. So let's see what we have going on up here. So there's a nice point and there's a nice point. So we go up 2 and to the right 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the slope is positive 2 over 5 again. So if I call this one Jill and this one Jack, because let's get some creative names here, right? Jack's slope is 2/5 and Jill is 2 over 5. Let's do one more. Let's see what happens. But can you guess what the slopes are going to be? Maybe not what the slopes are going to be, but if I find that we're going to call this one Bob and this one Henry. So if I find Bob's slope, can you predict Henry's slope? Can you? And what do you think it's going to be? Well, let's first find Bob's slope. So there's a point right there. There's a nice point. And there's a nice point. There we go. So let's go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's negative 5. And then to the right 2. So plus 2. So Bob's slope is negative 5 over 2. Can't reduce that at all. Henry, what do you think Henry's slope is going to be? This is where I have to go Dora on you because obviously you can't answer. So let's answer it myself. So let's find out. So you hopefully have in your head what you think it's going to be. We have a little bit of a pattern here, right? So we have a point right here. And then we have a point right here, right? Beautiful points. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's -5. And then to the right 2, 1, 2 over +2. Henry's slope is indeed -5/2, which is what we thought it would be. So what does this tell us? This tells us that parallel lines have equal slopes. Okay, so what does this do for us? So let's say that I have a random line right here. I'm just going to make a random line. Boom, random line, okay? And I'm going to give you a random point, okay? So I want the equation of the line that goes through this point and has the slope of this line. So first of all, let's figure out the slope of this line. Oh, my goodness, I did this beautifully. So, well, kind of. There's a point and there's a point. So it's a negative, so we're going down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I went down 6, and to the right 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So -6/5. So this slope is -6/5. And this point is -3, -3, because I'm over here and I'm down there. Can I find the equation of the line that goes through that point and is parallel to that line? Sure, because the slope is going to be the same. So we have y equals mx plus b. I have a point. I have a slope. I can figure out the y-intercept. I can figure out the equation of this line. So y, my negative y is -3 equals m is -6/5 times x is -3 plus b, and I can solve for b. So -3 equals -6 times -6/5 times -3. So that's an invisible 3/1, right? So -6 times -3 is 18/5 plus b. Ooh, b is not going to be pretty. I'm so sorry. That's what happens when you draw random lines. So I've got to subtract 18/5 from both sides. My life.
Larson, please come to the office to check out. Jerem Larson.
Okay, so you guys got to hear announcements. So my life will be a lot easier if I have a common denominator of 5. So in order to get 3/1 with a common denominator of 5, I've got to multiply it by 5 times 5/5, because that's just 1, right? So I have -15/5 minus 18/5 equals b. Oh, such ugliness. So we ended up with -33/5 equals b, okay? And now we've got, and we know the slope, so that we're done. We're done. So we have y equals -6/5 x minus 33/5. Ooh. Ooh, your assignment won't have ugly ones like that, I promise. So let's graph this, though, and see if it works. So -33/5, that is actually -6.5. It's not that bad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.5. Boom. Okay. So let's graph this next point. It's the slope is -6/5, so I'm going to go up 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I'm going to go to the left 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to put a point there. I'm going to attach these points and see if they go through my target point. Oh, they totally do. It totally worked, and it's totally beautiful. Should we do another one? Let's do another one. Should we do another random? Let's do another random line. Let's have this one be positive. And I'm going to doctor it so the slope is a little bit prettier. All right, so I intentionally made it go through this point and this point. So So let's look at this slope. We have up 2 to the right 2. So we have 2 over 2. But that also reduces to 1 over 1. I could have just gone up 1 to the right 1 and then been boom right there. So the slope equals 1, okay? And I want a line that's going to go through this point right here, okay? So let's figure out what point that is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that is the point -2, comma 7. Can I do this? I can do this. We know that y equals mx plus b. I have a y, I have an x, I have a slope, so I can figure out what b equals. So 7 equals m, which is conveniently 1. How beautiful is that? Times x, which is -2, plus b. So 7 equals -2 plus b. We're going to add 2 to get this b alone this time because the 2 is negative. So 9 equals b. Okay, so the equation for this line is going to be y equals 1x plus 9. But in our invisible math, this 1 can just go away. So y equals x plus 9. So let's see if this works. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then let's do up 1 over 1 for our slope. Connect those dots. And boom! It goes through that point. Yay! It totally worked. So this is the equation for that line that's parallel to this line and goes through that point. Okay, should we see if we can do one without a graph? Let's do one without a graph. Okay. So we're going to have the point, we're going to have the graph y equals 2x plus 3, and we want it to go through the point 1, comma 2. Okay, can we do that? We can do that. So what's our slope? Our slope is 2. Okay, we could tell because it's in slope-intercept form, and the slope is the number right in front of the x. So m equals 2. We have this point. So y equals mx plus b. We substitute the 2 in for y, the slope in for m, which is 2, the 1 in for x, and then plus b. 2 equals 2 plus b minus 2 from both sides. Oh my goodness, b is going to be 0. Can b be 0? Sure. Why the heck not? It crosses at the origin. How lovely. So y equals, m is still 2, 2x plus 0. But, okay, do we need to leave this 0 there? No. Remember in our invisible math, it can just disappear off of the planet. And y equals 2x. Are these two lines parallel? Yes, because the slopes are the same. Does it go through this point? Yes, because that's the point that we used to find the equation of the line. We can do one more. If you feel like you're solid on this, then don't watch anymore. And if you feel like you need a little bit more work, then keep watching, okay? So we're going to do one with some negatives. We're going to have a slope that is -3/2, and we're going to have the point -1, comma 4, okay? Oh wait, we're going to have the equation of the line. Whoops. Y equals -3/2 x plus 7. And then we want it to be parallel to this line, go through that point. Well, the slope is -3/2. So m equals -3/2. So let's set this up. Y equals mx plus b. We have a y, that's 4. We have an m, that's -3/2. We have x is -1, and we don't know what b is. That's what we're trying to find. So we have, let's multiply these out. 4 equals -3/2 times -1. We have a negative times a negative, so that's a positive. 3/2 plus b. We need to subtract 3/2 from both sides to get that b alone. I'm just going to do this one in my head. This is 3/2 is 1.5. 4 minus 1 is 3. 3 minus 1/2 is 2.5. So we have 2 1/2 equals b. If you need to get the common denominator and stuff, we can do that. But I think I'm good with just doing that. I hope you guys are good with that too. So we know m, we know b. Can we figure out the equation of the line? Y equals mx plus b. Y equals, what was m again? -3/2 plus 2.5. All right, it might hurt some of your souls out there that this is an improper fraction and this is a mixed number. If you have a real burning desire, you can turn that back into an improper fraction. Y equals -3/2 x plus 5/2, or you can just keep it like that. It doesn't matter. I'm gonna keep it like this just to be a rebel. All right, so that is it for today on your assignment. You will see a thing that says stop here on Tuesday. Please do not go on to Wednesday. Wednesday is completely different stuff. Good luck, and let me know if you have any questions or problems.